everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Shady, you're in the zone. We've got some breaking news out of the state of Minnesota this morning. This is June the 14th, 2025. This is the day of all the protests, all the riots, and I had said yesterday to watch out, to be aware, to look at what's going on around you and all that stuff. This came completely out of left field. Okay, so here is the latest breaking news this morning.
Welcome back. We have an update to the breaking news situation that we have been following all morning. We have confirmed from sources that 2 Minnesota state lawmakers have been shot, Representative John Hoffman and Representative Melissa Hortman. We do not know their condition at this point. We know that these are involved in the 2 situations that we've been following in Champlin and Brooklyn Park, where each of them live. We are working to get more information on all of this just as soon as we can. But again, 2 Minnesota lawmakers shot this morning, confirmed by our sources, Senator John Hoffman of Champlin and Representative Melissa Hortman of Brooklyn Park. Now, here is a live look at the Brooklyn Park City Hall. There is a shelter-in-place alert in place for the 3-mile radius of the Edinburgh Golf Course in Brooklyn Park. There is approximately 3 miles around that golf course where they are looking for an armed gunman, a suspect believed to be involved in multiple targeted shootings. We also want to look at the scene there. I believe we have a video for it. Oh, this is the 3-mile radius around that Edinburgh golf course. We know that FBI is on the scene. We've been following this. We first learned of this about 4:30 this morning and have been working ever since to confirm details for you. We are now getting sources who are confirming those details. Here is a look at Champlin. Again, this is the district where Senator John Hoffman lives and represents. Again, we are working to confirm just as many details as we possibly can, but our sources say that both have been shot, and we want to be careful. We don't know their conditions, but we need to monitor this very, very carefully. Here is a statement from Governor Tim Walz. He says, "I have been briefed this morning on the ongoing situation involved targeting shootings in Champlin and Brooklyn Park. The Minnesota Department of Public Safety and local law enforcement are on the scene, and we will share more information soon." Again, that is from Governor Tim Walz within the last few minutes or so. Again, back to that shelter in place at the 3 miles around the Edinburgh Golf Course. I want to point out the updated alert for that shelter in place from the Brooklyn Park Police Department. They are looking for a suspect who is a white male, brown hair, dressed like law enforcement. They say do not approach this person. Do not answer your door unless 2 officers approach the door with you, and unless you are able to confirm that it is indeed officers at your door. Call 911 to verify the officer identity first. So this is a very fluid situation, as you can imagine, unfolding for the last several hours, that we will continue to monitor and hoping for the very best for all involved.
This came completely out of left field. I wasn't expecting anything like this, but I will say this up front. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. I don't care what your political beliefs are. I don't care what political party you are. I don't care what your philosophy is. This was wrong. This should never, ever, ever happen in this country. And as she stated in the news report, Governor Tim Walz, this is what I want to really talk about right now. Governor Tim Walz actually got up on there and, he went on TikTok or whatever here not too long ago. This is Governor Tim Walz just a few days ago.
Out on that. Well, maybe it's time for us to be a little meaner. Maybe it's time for us to be a little more fierce. Because we have to ferociously push back on this. And again, I'll speak to my teacher colleagues in here. The thing that bothers a teacher more than anything is to watch a bully.
Okay, so that was Governor Tim Walz just a few days ago. Let me see if I can find this. This was something that Tim Walz said today.
This was an act of targeted political violence. Peaceful discourse is the foundation of our democracy. We don't settle our differences with violence or at gunpoint. In the state of Minnesota, and as recently as last week, in the most closely divided state legislature in the country, we sat down, we worked things out, we debated, we shook hands and compromised, and we served the state of Minnesota together. We proved that it's possible, even in these politically charged times, to find compromise and adhere to the principles of democracy and civil discourse.
Okay, so that was Tim Walz today. 2 days ago, we need to get meaner. Today, we all need to sit around and work out our differences together. You know, he should have just said that in the first place. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm not trying to sound like I don't have a heart here. But what was that Schumer said about Kavanaugh, that you've reaped this and you're going to sow that? Well, Tim, you went on YouTube or the news or X or whatever it was that you were on, and you were talking about how the Democrats need to get meaner, how we need to bully people around, how you need to bully people around. This is not the way we do things. You see, your second thing that you did today in response to these shootings, that's what you should have said in the first place. But no, you go out and you instigate things. You rile people up. You're speaking to one group of people, not even realizing that there's a whole lot of maniacs out there, that there's a whole lot of lunatics out there in this world that are hanging off of what your dumb self is saying to the public. So I'm not laying this on Tim Walz's feet, but I'm saying you're part of the problem. When you go on social media, and when you say things like you said a couple of days ago about being meaner, about this, about that, and then it comes back to roost in your own front yard, do you see what I'm saying? Go with your second statement, not this crap about being meaner, about bullying. Folks, this stuff has to stop. And today is young. It's only 10:55 a.m. here in Colorado. We've got a whole weekend left to see just where all these protests and riots go. And there are Democrats out there right now that are saying, hey, everybody needs to get in the street. Everybody needs to protest. Everybody needs to fight back against ICE. You see, when you talk, when you speak that rhetoric, people listen to you. All people listen to you, whether they're sane, whether they're insane, whether they've got a beef against the government, whether they don't. People listen to you. We need to all tone this stuff down. But I'm sorry, but I personally think it's too late. I think it is too late in the game. But we can hope, and we can all start to try to put these fires out, to try to sit down at a table and work things out together. This should have never happened. This guy, this assassin, had a police uniform, had a police utility belt. He had a patrol car that looked exactly like a real patrol car. He had months that he had planned this. I don't know if I don't know what his motivation was, but according to what the reports I'm hearing, he had a list of other political figures that he was going to assassinate. This weekend is not going to be fun, y'all. It's just not going to be fun. So like I told you yesterday, wherever you are, whoever you are, be aware. Have your situational awareness at the front of your mind. Have some self-protection with you at all times. If this can happen to senators and congressmen, it can happen to you. Now, the state of Minnesota has put out that as the police, as law enforcement are investigating this, and if they are going door to door, that there will be 2 officers that will come to your door. And if one officer comes to your door and starts knocking on your door or whatever, you need to call 911. I would say this might just be a good idea for everybody in this country to pay attention to today. I hope that I don't have to do another video today. I hope we don't have any more tragedies. I pray to God that there won't be any more violence today. But, you know, I've got this little thing that God gave me called common sense also. And I can't help but believe that I will be on here tonight after 7 p.m. Mountain Time doing another video on the latest lunacy that has happened in this country. Until the next time, y'all take care of yourselves. God bless. And of course, stay shady.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight! And these shields, boys!